Why do we as hot rodders lie to ourselves? Why do we tell ourselves, oh, I'm just going to run this wire, get my fans working, and I'll take care of it later. Or let me just run these fuel lines temporarily, get the engine up and running, and I'll fix it later. You're not going to fix it later. You never fix it later. Well, it's later, and I'm going to replace my flexible fuel lines with some custom bent hard lines. Ever since installing the 417 stroker into the D100, I've run flexible fuel lines. I do have a hard feed line in the frame rail, but I had them go to a flexible fuel line, both when I originally installed it with a carburetor, and then when I went to the Holley Sniper EFI, and then now that I'm back to carburetor, I've always had them go to a pressure regulator. So I just ran, it was easier to run flexible fuel lines. But I'm tired of the mess. I'm tired of how it looks. So I'm going to fix it. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove everything from the firewall here, the fuel pressure regulator, all the lines, and remove the wiring, probably move the coil, and then I'm going to remount my pressure regulator somewhere else, probably maybe a little bit higher up, maybe on the corner of that plate. And then I'm going to bend up some hard fuel line to go down to the bottom of the cab. I'm still going to have a bit of soft, rubber fuel line go from the cab to the frame rail so that I can easily remove that section if I ever decide to pull the cab and do a full restoration on this thing or whatever. It's just nice to have that quick disconnect and only have to remove a short bit of hose rather than have to remove a whole bunch of fuel line. But I'm going to get to removing all that stuff, and then I will start bending up some hard fuel line. All right, I've got the firewall pretty much all cleared off. I'm going to run the wire across the top and down for the coil. I'm going to have to probably get a new coil wire to go between the coil and the distributor. Got the wire routing. I think the regulator, fuel pressure regulator, is going to go right there in the top corner of that plate. I'm going to give that a quick coat of paint, clean that up, and then I'll be able to start bending up my fuel lines. All right, so I got the firewall pretty much cleared up. I got the wires running in the general area where they're going to go. They'll get finalized once I get the fuel lines run, but I'm ready to start running fuel lines. So I was getting ready to drill a 3/8 hole into a piece of 2x4 in order to straighten out some fuel line, but Amazon just showed up and they dropped off one of these. What this is meant for 3/8 hard line. You feed that line in there, run this back and forth, and it gets that line nice and straight. I will have to drill a hole in a 2x4, a 1/4 inch hole for the return line. But this was like 20 something bucks. I'll leave a link down below, check it out. I was kind of hesitant. I've always just used a 2x4, but this works pretty good. So I got this all nice and straight. I can kind of get a rough length of what I'm going to need, start bending it up, and get some fittings on there. And I have something else that's going to go with it. So I'll show you that once we get some lines measured and cut. They don't want to lock. All right, so it's gonna be roughly 20 inches, probably gonna be too long. So throw a tape measure on the end of my tube here. And I got a little Lennox tubing cutter. It's actually meant for plumbing, but works great on these lines. So I'll get this on here. I think I'll last use it on 1/4 inch line because I had to cut a couple pieces for measurement purposes, because I went and I 3D printed some clamps to hold these lines to the firewall. And I'll show you those in a little bit. I made some designs for 3/8 line, for 1/4 inch line, for 1/2 inch. What I'm going to do is I will put those 3D files up for sale on the Red Blooded Products website. There's a link down below to the whole Red Blooded Products store. So check it out. I've got some of my tool organizers in there, just a bunch of different 3D printers. I think I have my carb stand files are in there. You can check them out. It's a good way to support the channel if you're interested. No pressure. But so I'm going to go roughly 20 inches on this, give or take. And we'll cut this line down. We'll just tighten it, turn it, tighten it, turn it. And this thing will eventually cut through that tubing, nice and clean. Still run a deburr tool around there, clean up the edges. Then we can start bending some fuel line. Got one of these little deburr tools. Put that in there, spin it around. Just helps to clean those edges up. get any burrs off the inside of the line. All right, now you start bending it up and get the final length. All right, I've got one fuel line built. This is the 3/8 feed, so this will go into the pressure regulator and then down near the bottom of the firewall. I got this so it flares out, and then it'll just be a short rubber fuel line from here to the hard fuel line in the frame rail. Now, I also went and 3D printed these little clips. So what these are, it's got an opening here for a 3/8 line, and then this side for 1/4 inch with a hole in the middle that I can use a self-tapping screw to drive this into the firewall. And this will just kind of clamp like that. The 1/4 inch line will go there, and that'll keep these all nice and secure. Now, I also got some fiberglass heat insulation to cover up the fuel line. This is going to do a couple things. One, obviously, is for heat, because it's going to come down close to the header. It's going to help insulate it a little bit. Plus, it's a dark color. It's almost black, like the firewall. It'll just help kind of hide the fuel line a little bit. It won't be a bright aluminum looking fuel line coming up. And then I also printed these in a black PET G. So again, I'll leave links. I'll put a link down below, or just follow the Red Blooded Products link down below. You'll be able to pick up these little clips. Then you can buy them in aluminum or whatever, but I figured I had time, so I just 3D print them. So we'll see how they work out. Let's get this one installed, and then I got to bend up the 1/4 inch line for the return. Now, I'm not going to get that in just yet because my dumbass didn't order 1/4 inch hard line to -4 AN fitting. I ordered -6, and the return line on the bottom of the regulator is a -4. So they should be here hopefully tomorrow, but I'll continue with this and get cables dressed in and things like that, and then build the other lines. I still got to run the 1/4 inch hard line back along the frame rail also to back near the tank. And then I'm going to be doing something back there also that you'll see in a little bit. All right, so there you can kind of get an idea now. I've got the regulator's not attached to the bracket, but that line comes out and down, and it flares out a little bit right at the bottom. Now it's really close to the header. The return line will be shorter. I might build like a little heat shield to kind of go between the fuel lines and the header there. I kind of wanted it to come more straight down, but because of the header and that bolt, I kind of brought them over a little bit. But I think that's going to really free up like that whole area for whenever I decide to eventually maybe add heater and air conditioner. I'll have room there. So, but yeah, you get the idea of what I'm kind of after. And then you can also see these wires coming down will get secured to those fuel lines. One goes back to the transmission for the overdrive, and that blue wire is for the electric fuel pump. So they'll also get added probably inside some sort of insulation just to protect them from the heat coming off that header. But yeah, it's coming along, guys. So it's not a 1/4 inch hole in a 2x4, it's a 17/64. And while it doesn't work as well as the roller, you can see I just kinked it right there. Doesn't work as well as one of those rollers, but it'll work. It'll get the job done. It's not as nice. I'm gonna have to order one of those tube rollers in a 1/4 inch size. But this will work. It's only a hot rod. It's not a show truck. Summertime's coming to Vegas. It's getting here. Probably like mid-90s today. The fan going. Nice tall glass of ice water. Just keep on going. So it's a new day. I've been doing some work under the back of the truck. So let me take it back there and I'll show you what I got going on. All right, so under the back of the truck, since I installed a gas tank out of a Ram Charger and I've got a frame mounted fuel pump, I obviously need fuel lines to go from the tank to the pump. And up until now, I've been running, again, just some rubber wrapped, fuel lines. But if I crawl up under here, what I've been doing is setting up hard lines. So I've got the sump in the bottom of the tank, and that goes back to when I had the Sniper EFI and I was having fuel pressure issues. I decided to add a sump. So I have 2 lines that come out of the sump. Hopefully this shows up well. There are 2 lines, one for the feed, one for the return. Come up, I've got a zip tie mount right here. A couple P-clamps there, they just kind of float in there. And then this is the feed line that comes up to the filter and then the pump. And then this will be, again, a flexible return line to go to a hard line once I run it. But I have this zip tie right here, and I need a way to secure these. And I don't want to use a regular zip tie. I want to use a metal zip tie, but I don't want any room for this to move around. So I 3D printed a little makeshift little bracket. So that'll slot over the zip tie mount. It'll get zip tied in place with a metal zip tie, and this will just kind of clamp up to the top of the tank, or the bottom of the tank, I should say, and hold those lines in place. Let me see if I can get you guys set up to a good angle, and I'll put this in place. All right, so hopefully that shows up good. So here's the zip tie. Here's the little mount that I made, a little bracket. So it's got a notch for a 3/8 line, and then a notch for the 1/4 inch. And this will just kind of slip up in there. And I'll be able to take one of these metal zip ties. I'll be able to run it through the zip tie mount. And this way it'll clamp this plastic piece that I 3D printed out of PETG. Instead of trying to hold those individual lines and everything could come loose, this way it just kind of goes right up into place. Let me get this started here. Let me just take this off. Laying on the floor doing this stuff sucks, but we'll get it. I got the zip tie started. Get this up in place the right way. And that, like I said, that just kind of saddles it. And now all the clamping pressure goes against this 3D printed bracket instead of the fuel lines. So I did print it out of PETG, so it should be okay. I mean, I wish I had better material, or I'm still learning this whole 3D printing stuff. I don't want to yank on this thing too bad, otherwise, I have a good chance of that mount becoming dismounted from. It's just held on with a epoxy. It's called Click Bond. It's stuff that we use in the aeronautics or aviation industry. Really good stuff. But the stuff I had was old, so I'm not sure how good it is. But I'll fight with this a little bit and I'll get it. Alright, there we go. It's in place. A little bit of struggle. It's still not completely tight. There's a little bit of wiggle to it, but the lines, because of the way it's notched out, they're not going anywhere. So I'll just cut this off as flush as I can. I can still pull on it a little bit, maybe with the snips. Get a little bit more pull on it. And then we'll just cut that off flush. There we go. Take that little bit of extra and push it up so I don't cut myself on it. But there we go. Little fuel line mount. Not too bad. So with that done, I guess I could jack the truck up and run the hard line for the return. Like I said, I'm still waiting on the fittings, the compression fittings for the hard line to go to the regulator. So yeah, I guess I'll get this truck up on jack stands and run some hard fuel line inside the frame. All right, so here's where I'm at. I've got the return line replaced. I had that rubber return line going from the firewall back to by the tank. I've got that replaced with a hard line. I just got an update from Amazon. My fittings are not going to be here till tomorrow now. Today being Thursday, they're not going to be here till Friday, and I have plans on Saturday. So hopefully, and I go back to work Sunday. So hopefully those fittings will be here early tomorrow so that I can get this return line finished up. I still got to bend up the return line from the pressure regulator down to the bottom of the firewall. I'm going to relocate my coil, so I can do that. Hopefully I can find a cable, or I can just reroute it in a way that I can reuse my coil cable. So I can do that, get that all cleaned up and dressed in. I got some wiring bits I can finish up there and get that all finished. But I'm in a holding pattern for those fittings. I need to, they're the fittings, the compression fittings that go from quarter line to AN fitting. So yeah, hopefully those will be here early tomorrow. So That's where I'm at right now, guys. I really hope this video gets done in time to be released on Monday. Oh, didn't get my fittings in time, so video's delayed, but whatever. So I've got the return line going from the regulator down the firewall. That's bent up. I have to trim the hard line, return line in the frame rail at the firewall. I got to trim that. And then I got to make the rubber line that connects the two. And then out back, I got to trim down the hard line and connect it to the soft line that runs over to the other hard line at the tank. So yeah, let me show you what I got here, and then I'm going to build that rubber line and trim that hard line, all that good stuff. All right, so there you can see the return lines, and the one in the middle is actually the cabling that comes down. Everything is wrapped in heat shielding there. So I'm going to replace the clamp that holds the fuel lines to the firewall. I actually printed out some new ones that are thicker, so this one will just get put in place there to hold those lines to the firewall. And then I'll work on bending up the rubber line that connects the two. And you can see the hard line down there sticking out right by the header. Right there. Doesn't want to focus. But that's the hard line sticking out. So I got to trim that thing down to size. That little guy right there. Like I said, summer's here in Vegas. Pro tip for you. Before you pressurize your fuel system to look for leaks, make sure you've tightened all your fittings, or you're going to find leaks. But I've got everything installed, pressurized the system, no leaks. The only thing I got to do is connect the regulator to the carburetor. I've got an AN cap on the end of that cable, or the end of that fuel line right now that goes to the carburetor. But other than that, this thing is done. Here's what we've got. I've got, like I said, the hard line going to the regulator, which is the top one right there. Got the return coming out the bottom, wiring going down, and that just looks so much cleaner than just having flexible fuel lines everywhere or having bright colored hard fuel lines going to that regulator. Having that insulation over it just kind of really helps it all kind of disappear a little bit into that firewall. I am really liking the way that looks. And as for here in the back, again, hard fuel lines, both feed and return coming out of the tank, out of the sump down there. And then a little piece of flexible fuel line going to the pump, and same going up from on the return side, going up to the frame rail. No leaks back here. I am going to replace this clamp. I did print a new one out in a little bit thicker material. Those will be included on the Red Blooded Products page with the other fuel line clamps. I'll put them all together in one zip file for one price. There we go, guys. Some custom bent hard fuel lines. Super simple. Did I show it earlier in the video? But all I was using was one of these just kind of like universal tube benders. It does like 3 different sizes. This is what I used to get those bends. I mean, and then I just kind of adjusted it by hand. So it's really simple and no kinks, a little distortion in the tube, but you know, this isn't one of the high quality tube benders. So yeah, it just looks so much cleaner under there now. And I don't have, you know, rubber fuel lines going everywhere. I don't have bright colored hard fuel lines that kind of stand out. And I've freed up some real estate on the firewall now so that whenever I do decide to eventually add a heater and AC, I've got some room to work with. The coil can move if need be. I just kind of moved it up, dressed in the wiring, and everything looks a whole lot better. Really appreciate you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe, hit the bell. See you on the next one.